Triton, and I have been basically skirting the outlying areas of Area 2. We have not probed the inside as of yet because we only have one day that we could spend together to go up there and check it out. The following day we're going to be going to Area 1, and we're going to be doing basically the same thing, skirting the edges of that, looking for signs of activity. Both these particular areas were spared by the big forest fires from several years ago, and therefore we believe these areas are probably pretty busy with activity because the fires have a tendency to concentrate the Bigfoot into areas that they can live in. That's going back to the 4 criteria, of having plenty of good drinking water, plenty of food, both animal and vegetable, plenty of places to hide in, thick, dense forests, and the lack of man. So why are we doing this? It all boils down to is Arizona is a very dynamic place. People have moved into Arizona more so than probably should be here. It was never designed, the deserts and so forth were never designed to hold this much people. And therefore we're seeing lots and lots of fires. People are just starting fires all the time. And every time before the monsoon seasons come, the forests and so forth dry out if we have a real dry spring. And it's so explosive that a cigarette or a spark or anything can start a fire. And we end up with forest fires. So we know that our favorite area that we usually go to is in danger. It's going to eventually burn. And therefore we want to be able to develop other areas and possibly get the food sources going in these other areas so that the Bigfoot will have a place to go and we will continue to have a place to study. As stated before, my ancestors helped settle northern Arizona. And we have been here, or my families have been here for a long time. And therefore I can get, or I have resources that are available to me that are not available to the normal Bigfoot researcher. Most of my relatives were cattle ranchers and farmers and so forth, and therefore they understand the land. They understand Arizona. And when I come to those areas, I generally can talk to them, where most people, outsiders, when they go in and they talk to the local people really don't want to say much, because the people are outsiders and there's a little trust factor there and so forth. And so they won't tell other researchers and so forth the intimate stories, the experiences they've had and so forth. But in my particular case, these people are probably my cousins, maybe once or twice removed or something like that, and I get regular reports. I understand where to go, and so that really helps out in researching. That's one of the reasons why it's easier for me to locate a region to explore and to basically develop than most Bigfoot researchers, because I am a local. Ever since I started doing the videos on Area 2, I've been getting requests or questions about where Area 2 is located, and unfortunately I won't tell you, or fortunately I won't tell you. I've started designating these areas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so forth in order to help protect the Bigfoot that might be in them. Now, some people say that's rather selfish, but not necessarily. I mean, there are still people out there that want to shoot and bag a Bigfoot. They believe that a body must be provided to prove the existence of Bigfoot. I don't believe so. It's basically their existence has already been proved by stuff that would basically convict a criminal in the court of law. Fingerprints, photos, eyewitnesses, blood, tissue, that kind of stuff, footprints, all forensics type evidence that would stand up in court. So the proof is out there. It's just that science and people have not chose to exist or to accept that. And I often wondered why that is. Well, you look back to when Christopher Columbus was going to sail the ocean blue. And at the time, the belief, the general populace and science was that the world was flat. And many people sacrificed their lives trying to say differently. It took hundreds of years for people and science to finally accept that the world was really round. And that's what I think is happening here with Bigfoot. Now, there are very many folks out there that are concerned that my absence from the area that I called the hot zone would be basically my Bigfoot friends would be missing me or kind of missing the help that I might be providing in the way of food and snacks and so forth. However, I don't believe so. They have very good memories, and they will remember the guy in the red t-shirt that shows up with food. However, I have been working that area for about 8 years now, and I have developed the berry bushes, the apple trees, the so forth, and a lot of game has now started thriving and prospering in that particular area. So therefore, I'm not so concerned about my Bigfoot friends, and I call them that because I seem familiar with them, that they will be okay. There's probably enough food around. However, if there other areas don't have the food to support a Bigfoot clan or something, the migrations will take place, and eventually my hot zone area will be overcrowded. It will not be able to support all the food demands. And therefore, I want to start developing these other areas so that these migrations or concentrations won't be so great. And that way the competition for the food levels won't be all that bad. So I have already started many apple trees and many pear trees off of the Bigfoot area that I was working, and I will be finding places in these new search areas to plant them to make sure that there's more food available. This will draw the animals in. It'll make the other animals like deer and elk and turkey prosper more, which also increases the food level or food availability for other animals like bears, mountain lions, and even Bigfoot. So that's my plan of attack.